OTM, the leading travel trade show in Asia Pacific.
OTM 2022 Booster Edition also featured cutting-edge discussion forums, starting with a keynote panel on the emerging New World Order of international travel. The key takeaway from this panel was that as the conventional destinations in the West are unable to process visa fast, other destinations have a unique window of opportunity to move in.
We are trying to achieve the aims of 100,000 visitors from India in 2023. It's pre-pandemic numbers, and we want to achieve it. And I must say that nowadays, visitors from India is in top 5 foreign visitors to Russia. And I must say that visitors from Russia is, as far as I know, is in top 5 to India too. So it's mutual understanding, mutual friendship. So we must work harder, and that's it.
We are at 100% open status. All the restrictions have been lifted for fully vaccinated individuals. And I think we're seeing a very, very strong response from India, right? In the first 7 months of the year alone, we had 2.89 lakh visitors from India come out to Singapore. And I think that is testimony to the very extensive links between Singapore and India. For the longest time, the ability of our tourism industry to reinvent themselves and to sharpen kind of what it is that, makes you stand out. Indian travelers are sophisticated travelers. They are travelers for whom the world is their oyster. So what is it that is going to make you be able to have value, right? For the Indian traveler. And I think for us, we see that value in being able to provide a whole other game-changing vacation experience. It's not just about sightseeing, but it's really about seeing what Singapore is about as a way of life and taking something back with you.
Another interesting panel discussion was on the trends shaping the Indian travel markets in 2022 and beyond, where industry experts shared their insights about the post-pandemic recovery of travel businesses.
India is a big growth market for Sabre, something that we're investing in heavily. And we see it as a big opportunity because we see India as outpacing the rest of the world in terms of travel recovery and something that we need to be a part of. So Sabre really is excited about what's happening in India.
The tourism industry in general is going to see a tremendous bounce back, and this is going to stay for a long time. We don't see any impact on the demand in general. Digitally, we are seeing better penetration. We see the customers wanting to get into more web check-in. They're more self-sufficient as a result. That's having an impact on the customer touch point though. But having said that, the customer being self-sufficient and the very fact that airlines are forced to be tech-enabled is really helping them go top-notch on the service delivery for the customer.
The business that's coming in today is not coming in only from the main cities, it's coming in from smaller towns. We have a lot of set of new customers who are coming to us because we're able to reach them more easily now. There are a lot of innovations we've done over the last 2 years in terms of how we can reach out to customers. The biggest trend or biggest opportunity that would happen is if we're able to digitally personalize travel and able to make it accessible to each and everyone across the country. I think that will be the biggest, I know it's a challenge, but as well as the opportunity today.
If you look at us, for example, our domestic business is already 130, 140% of what it was pre-pandemic, right? Obviously spending more. So I think domestic tourism has got the boost, and I don't think it's going to go away now that outbound has opened up. I think Indians have discovered that almost everything that you can get overseas, you can find in India in some form or fashion. And I think that's very good from a long-term standpoint.
In the Wedding Sutra Engage session, top wedding planners discussed the destination wedding trends around the world in the wake of pandemic-related restrictions.
This pandemic, people are becoming more self-aware, more ecologically aware. So we are being a lot of shift towards sustainability. I wouldn't say 100% sustainable, but we're trying to eliminate single-use plastics. A lot of flowers are used one time in a function, they're thrown away. So we're trying to kind of see how we can optimize that. We are using recyclable papers and gifts and stuff like that. So there's a huge shift. Obviously, the move towards where digital invites has been a big one. We don't print invitation cards anymore. So there's a lot of shift which has kind of become part of our life, and I think there's no going back on those trends.
Guests are so involved in personalization, in gifting, in curating that special experience. So I think a lot of personalization is coming into weddings. It has been in a very different format, and now it's just gone to a whole, different level, right from your cuisine to your gifting to your entertainment, getting an international, artist who only performing for your wedding. You want to be the first. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of those trends, and we're actually loving it.
The wedding format, I don't see any tech changes that have happened as such. But yes, definitely people have become much more savvy. The big change for us is Zoom meetings, and we love it because the amount of time that everyone would have to give in just to do a meeting in Bombay with the traffic, it has now gone away.
Cine Locals was a star-studded conversation among industry leaders from the film fraternity on bringing global destinations and locations to Indian cinema. Followed by presentations by Moscow, Turkey, Mauritius and South Africa, who presented their incentive schemes and infrastructure for filmmakers to shoot in their countries.
We do have a strong cultural affinity with India, and there have been numerous Indian productions recently that have shot in South Africa. For example, Fear Factor and Roadies on MTV has also recently done production in South Africa. So I think the destination is becoming well known. It is very investor friendly and shooting friendly. So I'd like to also encourage Indian companies, producers and production companies to look at South Africa, to engage with us and see where we can support and hopefully take more Indian productions to South Africa.
OTM 2022 at Geo World Convention Center was a huge success and proved to be a real booster of confidence for the travel trade industry. It's time to get ready for OTM Mumbai's next full-fledged edition from the 2nd to the 4th of February 2023 at the Geo World Convention Center, which will be twice the size and simply the #1 travel trade show in the country. Don't miss out.
OTM, the leading travel trade show in Asia Pacific. Focus. Ideate.